Every now and then, a machine appears that seems to question what we expect from two wheels. It breaks pattern, erases assumptions, and asks riders to think differently about motion itself. Some call these experiments mistakes, others call them vision. But the truth sits somewhere in between, where innovation risks ridicule and design dares to ignore the rulebook. This story is about one of those moments, when engineering ambition met market confusion, and the result looked like it came from another planet. It promised comfort, style, and technology far beyond its era. Yet it left the world wondering who asked for it in the first place. So if you enjoy deep dives into the strangest turns of motorcycle history, buckle in, because this one redefines what a futuristic misfit looks like. And if you want more stories that explore the wild side of automotive innovation, hit like, subscribe, and drop your pick for the next topic in the comments. In 2008, Honda released the DN-01, a motorcycle that instantly turned heads for all the wrong and the right reasons. It was sleek, stretched, and dripping with futuristic intent. Part cruiser, part scooter, and entirely alien to most motorcyclists. Honda had long been a brand that prided itself on forward thinking. This time, it wanted to reinvent how people rode. The DN-01 was more than a bike. It was an engineering statement about convenience meeting performance, an attempt to merge the comfort of an automatic transmission with the thrill of the open road. But to understand why the DN-01 existed, we need to look at the late 2000s motorcycle landscape. At that time, Honda faced a crossroads. The company had mastered nearly every motorcycle segment: sport, touring, adventure, and commuter. Yet its engineers believed there was still untapped space between categories, a gray zone where technology could create something entirely new. Riders were aging. Many loved the freedom of motorcycles but dreaded the constant shifting and clutch control of manual transmissions. Meanwhile, the automatic scooter market was booming, offering ease of use and practicality. Honda saw a chance to bridge those worlds. The DN-01 was conceived as a hybrid creature. It carried the low, laid-back stance of a cruiser, the aerodynamic shell of a sport tourer, and the automatic drive of a scooter. The design brief aimed for something intuitive and approachable, a motorcycle that anyone could ride without intimidation. Its name, Dream New Concept 1, embodied the ambition. A single machine that would signal Honda's leap into a new era of intelligent mobility. But dreams are fragile, and this one faced enormous headwinds even before it reached showrooms. Stylistically, the DN-01 looked like it belonged in a sci-fi film. Its bodywork flowed in smooth, uninterrupted lines from nose to tail. The integrated headlight cluster, flush turn signals, and sculpted fuel tank gave it a spaceship-like silhouette. Every inch was meant to communicate future, from the swooping fairings to the massive rear tire. When displayed at shows, people stared at it with disbelief. Some saw beauty in its strangeness. Others saw confusion. What they all agreed on, however, was that it did not look like any other motorcycle on the road. Underneath that radical design sat Honda's revolutionary human-friendly transmission, or HFT. This fully automatic, continuously variable hydraulic transmission was unlike anything riders had experienced in a full-size motorcycle. It could operate in either automatic or manual mode, allowing the rider to select virtual gears through buttons on the handlebar. No clutch lever, no foot shifter, just seamless acceleration. For engineers, it was a triumph of precision and control. For purists, it was heresy. Motorcyclists had long cherished the mechanical intimacy of gear shifts and engine feel. Removing that interaction felt to many like removing the soul from the ride. Yet, Honda had good reasons for pursuing it. The HFT was designed to make riding accessible to a wider audience, people intimidated by the complexities of manual shifting. It also aligned with Honda's broader vision of safety and comfort, echoing its automotive innovations. The transmission's hydraulic nature meant smooth engagement and less wear, making it ideal for urban environments where stop-and-go traffic was the norm. Honda imagined commuters embracing the DN-01 as a practical yet exciting alternative to cars and scooters. Performance-wise, the DN-01 used a 680 cubic centimeters liquid-cooled V-twin engine derived from the Deauville touring bike. It produced modest power, around 60 horsepower, but delivered it smoothly thanks to the transmission. The frame was a sturdy steel tube setup, and the suspension was tuned for comfort over aggression. Disc brakes with ABS provided confident stopping power, reinforcing Honda's commitment to safety and control. The overall ride experience was unlike anything else in the lineup. Easy, quiet, composed, but somewhat detached. Unfortunately, this detachment became one of the DN-01's greatest criticisms. Reviewers noted that while the transmission was smooth, it dulled the sense of engagement riders craved. The engine felt muted, the acceleration steady but uninspiring. The weight, nearly 600 pounds wet, did not help either. Honda had created a motorcycle that handled predictably, but lacked the visceral feedback most riders wanted. To enthusiasts, the DN-01 felt like a concept bike that somehow escaped the design lab without completing its evolution. Then there was the price. In the United States, the DN-01 launched with a sticker around $15,000. Well above most mid-range cruisers or sport tourers. For that cost, buyers could get a more powerful, traditional motorcycle that offered far better performance. Honda's bet was that people would pay a premium for the DN-01's technology and uniqueness. But when it reached dealerships, reality hit. The crossover audience it targeted, non-riders, commuters, and tech enthusiasts, simply didn't materialize. Most who wanted a simple automatic two-wheeler bought a scooter. Those who wanted a motorcycle craved something raw and familiar. Still, Honda's engineers defended the DN-01 as a glimpse into the future. They saw it as a testbed for technology that could someday redefine how motorcycles worked. And in that sense, the bike's failure to sell was less important than what it represented. The HFT system, though not widely adopted, proved that fully automatic transmissions could function reliably at motorcycle scale. Its data and lessons would influence later projects. The DN-01's aesthetics also sparked conversations inside the industry about design boundaries. Honda's styling team had thrown convention aside, creating something that ignored nostalgia and chased tomorrow. Even critics admitted that the DN-01 was bold. Its integrated components hinted at the kind of seamless bodywork that would become common in electric motorcycles years later. What looked awkward in 2008 looked visionary in retrospect. In hindsight, the DN-01 was not built to dominate sales charts. It was built to provoke thought. For Honda, it was a rolling experiment that tested both technology and audience tolerance for change. While it missed the mark commercially, it succeeded in challenging the industry to think differently about what a motorcycle could be. The DN-01 embodied Honda's willingness to take creative risks at a time when most manufacturers were playing it safe. The more one studies the DN-01, the more it feels like a preview of a world still forming in 2008. The emphasis on automation, comfort, and cross-category design anticipated the rise of electric mobility. The idea that motorcycles could be intuitive and inclusive foreshadowed a shift toward accessibility in transportation. Honda may have misjudged the timing, but the vision itself was prophetic. As enthusiasts dissect the DN-01 today, they often see it as both a cautionary tale and a source of inspiration. It reminds us that innovation requires courage, and courage often comes with mistakes. Every strange, misunderstood machine leaves behind knowledge that shapes the next generation. In that light, the DN-01 story is not about failure but evolution. It marked the moment when motorcycles briefly looked into the future and found themselves unprepared for what they saw. Honda's DN-01 carried enormous expectations. The company had marketed it as a machine that would merge elegance, technology, and ease into a single experience. Yet once it rolled onto streets, that promise met the realities of consumer behavior and cultural perception. In the late 2000s, motorcycles still symbolized rebellion and mechanical intimacy. Riders connected with clutch levers, shifting patterns, and the rhythmic pulse of combustion. Against that backdrop, the DN-01's smooth automation felt foreign. It delivered convenience, not adrenaline; comfort, not connection. This contrast exposed the challenge of innovation in the motorcycle world. Where car buyers often chase new technology, riders tend to protect tradition. The DN-01 tested that loyalty. Honda assumed that simplifying the ride would attract new customers who wanted motorcycle freedom without the learning curve. But riding is as emotional as it is functional. People buy motorcycles to feel something mechanical and alive. Removing the gearshift, for many, was like removing the heartbeat. The DN-01's refinement made it approachable, but also dulled the very edge that defines two-wheel passion. At the same time, Honda's engineers understood that such reactions were part of progress. The human-friendly transmission was a leap into uncharted territory. Instead of relying on electronic sensors or belt-driven systems, the HFT used a hydraulic pump and motor arrangement to vary output continuously. It provided the smoothness of an automatic with the efficiency of a manual, a marvel of precision engineering. It also allowed manual control through handlebar switches, giving riders a taste of both worlds. On paper, it was an ideal compromise. In practice, it felt neither fully automatic nor truly manual. That in-between character left many uncertain how to classify the experience. This uncertainty bled into marketing. Dealers struggled to describe the DN-01 succinctly. Was it a cruiser? A sport tourer? A luxury scooter? The ambiguity confused buyers. Honda's promotional materials highlighted its futuristic look and advanced transmission, but those selling points resonated only with a small niche. Motorcycle communities tend to bond around identity. Sport riders chase lap times, cruisers chase style, adventurers chase distance. The DN-01 sat outside all tribes, and that isolation proved costly. Beyond image, the DN-01's performance limitations amplified skepticism. Its 680 cubic centimeters engine, while dependable, was tuned for smoothness rather than speed. Acceleration was modest. Top speed respectable but unremarkable. Its heavy weight blunted agility, and its low-slung chassis restricted cornering clearance. Riders who tested it often emerged impressed by comfort but puzzled by purpose. It rode like a relaxed cruiser yet looked like a sport tourer, and its price aligned with premium performance bikes. This disconnect meant few understood its true value proposition. Nevertheless, there was a quiet brilliance in how Honda executed the DN-01's design. Every component fit within the aerodynamic flow. Wiring and brackets were hidden to preserve a clean silhouette. The low seat height and balanced ergonomics made it unintimidating for new riders. Its dashboard, digital at a time when analog gauges still ruled, projected an aura of advanced simplicity. Even its LED tail section, shaped into a distinctive curve, foreshadowed future design language across Honda's lineup. The DN-01 might have confused buyers, but it undeniably showcased craftsmanship. Financially, though, craftsmanship alone could not justify the outcome. Global sales were limited. The bike's production run lasted barely 2 years. For Honda, accustomed to success through precision forecasting and mass market appeal, the DN-01's reception was humbling. It served as a reminder that even the most capable company can misread the intersection between technology and emotion. But Honda's culture of learning turned that misstep into momentum. Engineers analyzed what worked: the HFT, the ergonomic comfort, the user-friendly handling, and redirected those insights toward future projects. One clear beneficiary was Honda's DCT, or dual-clutch transmission, which would later redefine the brand's touring and adventure motorcycles. The DCT refined the DN-01's dream of automatic riding, making shifts quicker, engagement sharper, and adaptability broader. The DNA of the DN-01 lived on within that system. Each gear transition in a modern Honda automatic owes something to the experimentation that began with the DN-01. What failed as a product succeeded as a stepping stone. Culturally, the DN-01 also influenced perception. As electric motorcycles began gaining attention, riders grew more open to unconventional designs and automatic drivetrains. What once looked strange started to look forward-thinking. Reviewers who had dismissed the DN-01 as odd or purposeless began to revisit it with curiosity. Forums filled with nostalgic discussions about its design, with some collectors seeking preserved examples. Time, it seemed, was finally catching up to Honda's idea. This pattern repeats throughout automotive history. Radical machines often stumble when they debut, only to be celebrated decades later for their courage. The DN-01 belonged to that lineage of misunderstood innovators. Its greatest contribution was philosophical. It reminded the motorcycle world that progress sometimes requires discomfort. Without such leaps, even flawed ones, evolution stagnates. The DN-01's willingness to ignore the market in favor of exploration became part of Honda's legacy of risk-taking. What makes the DN-01 particularly fascinating today is how it aligns with modern mobility trends. The current push toward electric powertrains, rider assistance systems, and digital interfaces echoes its founding logic. Simplify control. Maximize accessibility. Make technology invisible. The DN-01 failed commercially because it offered these ideas too soon, but its conceptual DNA is visible everywhere now. From automatic adventure bikes to electric commuters, its influence threads quietly through modern design philosophy. Critics at the time often said the DN-01 lacked identity, but perhaps that was its hidden strength. It challenged the idea that motorcycles must fit neat categories. It proved that comfort and technology could coexist with style, even if not immediately appreciated. For riders who owned one, the experience was serene and futuristic, a machine that glided rather than roared. And while its sound and feel might not have ignited adrenaline, it offered a kind of calm rarely found in motorcycling. Viewed through that lens, the DN-01 stands as a mirror to its audience. It showed how deeply tradition defines the motorcycle experience, and how resistance to change can slow progress. Yet it also underscored the enduring desire for emotion in engineering. Machines may evolve, but their success still depends on human connection. The DN-01 tried to bridge that divide. In failing, it revealed just how wide that gap was. Years after its discontinuation, collectors began to recognize the DN-01's rarity and uniqueness. Its scarcity made it a conversation piece, a curiosity that embodied a bold experiment. Some museums added it to exhibits about design innovation, where its sculpted silhouette continues to spark debate. For a motorcycle once mocked as impractical, that kind of recognition speaks volumes. Honda's Misfit had matured into a case study in vision and timing. The Honda DN-01 occupies a special place in the timeline of innovation. By 2008, the motorcycle industry was at a crossroads, searching for ways to blend modern comfort with classic freedom. Honda took the risk of imagining a future where barriers to entry were lower and technology handled the complexity behind the ride. The DN-01 embodied that dream. But when it met the market, it also exposed how far most riders were from accepting change. In a sense, the DN-01's journey became a reflection of the motorcycle community itself. Its passion, its conservatism, and its reluctance to let go of tradition. Honda had introduced the DN-01 with a clear vision: to simplify the art of motorcycling without stripping away its identity. The human-friendly transmission stood at the center of this philosophy. It was designed to be intuitive, to let anyone, from beginners to seasoned riders, enjoy smooth, effortless riding. The concept was radical in 2008, a time when even car-based technology like adaptive transmissions were still considered premium. Honda believed the same logic could translate to two wheels, and the DN-01 was the proof of concept. But as the bike hit the streets, it collided with an audience that valued engagement over ease. Riders saw it as a luxury scooter wearing motorcycle clothes, and that contradiction overshadowed its achievements. The irony is that much of what made the DN-01 controversial has since become standard thinking. Automatic and semi-automatic transmissions now appear on a wide range of motorcycles. Honda's own DCT-equipped models, touring bikes, adventure machines, and even sport-tuned variants draw directly from the DN-01's groundwork. What once seemed alien became the blueprint. The DN-01's hydraulic transmission may have been replaced by dual clutches and electronics, but its influence remains embedded in Honda's engineering DNA. Design-wise, the DN-01 styling has aged into something iconic. The sweeping bodywork that once looked excessive now feels avant-garde. Its aerodynamic sculpting anticipated the aesthetic of electric motorcycles and concept vehicles that dominate design shows today. Even its color schemes, often deep metallics with subtle gradients, mirrored the kind of visual sophistication seen in high-end touring models years later. Honda's designers were not wrong about the direction. They were simply too early. That pattern of being too early recurs throughout innovation. Every industry has its pioneers who misjudge timing. The DN-01's futuristic approach was out of sync with 2008 economics and tastes, yet perfectly aligned with the priorities of today's mobility landscape. As cities push for cleaner, quieter, more user-friendly transportation, the core ideas behind the DN-01 suddenly seem prophetic. Its automatic ease, ergonomic accessibility, and integrated design anticipate a shift from raw performance toward usability and refinement. Technologically, the DN-01's complexity remains impressive. The human-friendly transmission combined mechanical precision with hydraulic logic, a system that required minimal maintenance yet delivered constant adaptability. It represented Honda's faith in engineering over gimmickry. The company could have taken an easier route with a simple CVT, but it chose to develop a more durable, performance-oriented solution. The result was a transmission that, while misunderstood, showcased a level of sophistication few motorcycles of the time could match. And though riders criticized its lack of power, that was not its true mission. The DN-01 was never about speed. It was about transformation. It asked whether a motorcycle could prioritize convenience without sacrificing credibility. It invited people to think of two-wheeled mobility as something inclusive, comfortable, and intelligent. That message was subtle, almost philosophical. In retrospect, it might have been too subtle for a marketplace that preferred immediate thrills over long-term vision. Still, the DN-01 found a small but passionate audience. Those who owned one often described it as serene, stable at cruising speeds, graceful in traffic, and surprisingly refined on highways. Its low seat height made it accessible to a wide range of riders, while its automatic transmission reduced fatigue. It was, in many ways, the perfect urban cruiser before that term even existed. Honda had built a bridge between the simplicity of scooters and the substance of motorcycles. Unfortunately, few people crossed it. As the years passed, the DN-01 became a symbol of creative courage. Collectors began to appreciate its rarity, and enthusiasts re-evaluated its role in motorcycle history. Forums that once mocked it now hosted restoration guides. Owners started showcasing pristine examples at meets, where they drew crowds intrigued by the design. In that revival of interest, the DN-01 achieved something unexpected. It turned from an object of confusion into one of curiosity. The deeper legacy of the DN-01 lies in its demonstration of Honda's culture of experimentation. Throughout its history, Honda has never hesitated to try unconventional ideas, from early scooters to groundbreaking touring machines. The DN-01 extended that tradition, proving that even a commercial misstep can yield technological breakthroughs. Its influence can be traced not only in transmissions but also in ergonomic design and integrated electronic systems. Every curve and circuit carried forward lessons that informed future motorcycles. Even its market failure offered value. It taught Honda, and the industry, that innovation must be paired with clear communication. The DN-01's ambiguity showed that technology alone cannot sell a vision. People must understand why it matters. Honda refined that skill in later years, introducing advanced features with better context and education. In that sense, the DN-01's commercial stumble laid the groundwork for more successful innovations to follow. Today, when one encounters a DN-01 in the wild, it feels almost like spotting a prototype that escaped into reality. Its lines, once ridiculed, now read like concept art rendered in metal. Its technology, once puzzling, now seems prescient. The DN-01 embodies the beauty of unfinished revolutions. Those moments when an idea leaps ahead of its time and waits patiently for the world to catch up. For Honda, the DN-01 remains a reminder of its own identity. The company has always valued curiosity over conformity, and this bike was curiosity made tangible. It did not achieve mass success, but it deepened Honda's understanding of how riders interact with innovation. The DN-01 proved that the pursuit of progress is never wasted, even when the result seems misplaced. In the long arc of engineering, such experiments are the stepping stones toward breakthroughs that redefine entire industries. The DN-01 also represents something broader: the courage to fail gracefully. In a market where predictability often wins, Honda dared to be misunderstood. That kind of creative risk is rare and invaluable. Without it, progress would stagnate. Without failure, refinement would lack direction. The DN-01, for all its quirks, became a quiet hero in that ongoing story of evolution. As enthusiasts revisit the era, they see that Honda's experiments signaled the dawn of a different philosophy. Mobility shaped by inclusivity, automation, and elegance. The DN-01 may have vanished from production lines, but it continues to whisper reminders about vision and timing. The Honda DN-01 stands today as both a riddle and a revelation, the kind of machine that challenges how we define success. When it launched in 2008, Honda expected it to open a new category of motorcycles. Instead, it opened a debate that still resonates. Was the world simply not ready? Or was the idea itself too abstract to connect? Looking back, the answer seems clear. The DN-01 was a brilliant solution in search of a problem that had not yet arrived. By the time Honda ended production, the DN-01 had sold in small numbers and earned a reputation as a curiosity. Yet that limited run gave it lasting mystique. It became a collectible not because of performance, but because of purpose. Each surviving DN-01 now represents a snapshot of Honda's experimental courage. A moment when engineering imagination outpaced consumer demand. The very features that once drew criticism, its seamless automatic drive, its sculpted body, its calm demeanor, have become symbols of forward thinking. The lesson embedded in the DN-01 story extends far beyond motorcycles. It shows how innovation often misfires when timing misaligns with perception. Ideas need not only brilliance but also context. The DN-01 lacked that alignment. It arrived in a world still tethered to mechanical identity and tradition. Yet the same qualities that doomed it in 2008 made it prophetic in hindsight. Today's riders expect refinement, adaptability, and automation. Traits that the DN-01 pioneered quietly before they were fashionable. Every time a modern motorcycle shifts gears automatically or a rider enjoys effortless acceleration, a small part of that experience traces back to the DN-01's legacy. Its human-friendly transmission planted the seeds for Honda's dual-clutch transmission and, indirectly, for the growing acceptance of electronically managed drivetrains across the industry. What was once dismissed as an oddity has become a cornerstone of technological evolution. The DN-01's spirit lives on not through nostalgia but through influence. Its design also left an indelible mark. Those flowing lines and integrated surfaces that once puzzled reviewers are now echoed in electric motorcycles, concept scooters, and futuristic cruisers. The aesthetic language of mobility as art that designers pursue today owes something to that 2008 experiment. Even its ergonomic ideas, low seating, easy reach, intuitive control, predicted a shift toward rider inclusivity that continues to shape modern development. If the DN-01 teaches anything, it is that risk is the lifeblood of innovation. Honda's willingness to invest in an unconventional concept reaffirmed its position as a brand unafraid to question norms. The bike may not have earned financial success, but it paid intellectual dividends. It inspired engineers, influenced competitors, and demonstrated the importance of experimentation even in failure. In the grand narrative of motorcycling, the DN-01 is no longer a footnote, it is a milestone. It stands at the intersection of past and future, a tangible reminder that creativity often precedes comprehension. When enthusiasts encounter one now, they see not just an odd design but the courage it took to imagine something different. Its smooth hum, quiet power delivery, and unique presence remind us that progress rarely travels in a straight line. For Honda, the DN-01 validated the belief that innovation should never fear rejection. Every breakthrough carries the risk of misunderstanding, and every misfire leaves behind knowledge that fuels the next success. That mindset continues to define Honda's approach today, as it embraces electrification, automation, and human-centered engineering. So, when the story of the DN-01 is told, it is not about a failed motorcycle. It is about a manufacturer that looked into the future, reached too far, and still managed to leave a mark. It is about technology that arrived early but refused to fade. Most of all, it is about imagination, the kind that pushes boundaries, accepts missteps, and keeps the wheels of progress turning. The Honda DN-01 remains one of the strangest-looking motorcycles the company ever produced, but also one of the most meaningful. Its silhouette may be rare on today's roads, yet its impact is everywhere, quietly influencing the machines that followed. What began as a misunderstood dream now reads as a message from the past, that every leap forward starts with someone daring to build what others only imagine.